Welcome back to the Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And we are coming live in the studio today, and a big warm welcome back to Bluey. Welcome back. And aren't you good?
Somebody's got to do it.
And yeah, especially for
it's
the boys.
It's a tough job, but
and,
someone's got to do it.
Yeah, and especially today, you're going to do it against, we're discussing another man that's been advocating for men. In a way, when I say advocate for men, comes with quite a big grain of salt, if you know what I mean. Okay, I have posted today's topic on my Facebook page, but for those that are still not followers, well, today's big topic is Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate. So, I know.
Don't be late for the show about Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, yes.
I almost got here an hour early because of eager in anticipation for this show. I just couldn't wait. I was so beside myself. So, Andrew Tate, woo-hoo.
Andrew Tate, of course.
Oh,
yeah, love
God's
him or hate him, you can't stop but know about him, and especially in the relationship sphere. And, you know, as he has been... well, he is such a big influence on young men, and regarding the dating and marriage sphere, we have to discuss him. We have to deal with this issue here, because he, you know what? Because he is one of the big block. Well, I say a big block at A block to people getting together and marrying, because of what he advised young men. So
Can't
really,
say I'm aware of that, but...
So it's Andrew Tate, dating and marriage. Now, what his rise tells us about modern love. So forget the viral clips and the outrage, as we all keep hearing. Well, let's dig into the real forces keeping the story alive and what it means for relationships today. You know, have you seen any of his clips or videos or things that he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's around a lot.
Around a lot and pretty forceful. I mean, look.
But he talks about worldviews more than, what could you say, relationship advice.
Well, look, I wouldn't say quite relationship advice, because like I say, the reason why we're talking about Andrew Tate in this relationship show is, you know, it's cultural force, not just controversy. I mean, Andrew Tate's name still trends. I mean, his ideas circulate and it's generating public debates about masculinity, power and relationships. And it keeps bubbling up around him, all these subjects. Why? Because he covers them. So, a little bit about Andrew Tate, though. I believe he was a kickboxer. Was he a world champion or not? I'm not sure whether or not he is.
Apparently.
But apparently he does have a lot of money behind him and in his name, something like a few $100 million. He's not a billionaire yet, is he? But
I think they're talking about him in that circle, but who knows?
But I think like wealthy enough to be a somebody kind of thing. Like it's probably a few million won't do it. I think it's more like a few $100 million because of the way.
Yeah, no, apparently he's got way more than that.
Yeah, because of.
I think he got into Bitcoin. You know.
Oh, yeah. So that's how he made his money?
Well, I think in the beginning, because remember I'm talking about how hard they had it growing up, that they had to go into Kentucky, certain fried chicken shops and wait for people to finish.
Oh, they will.
And then they'd go and get their leftovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now apparently when they have a birthday, they both go to KFC just to remember them days.
Themselves. Him and it was his brother Tristan.
So when they were doing kickboxing, they used to have association with the ring girls, the girls that hold the cards and walk around with skimpy shorts on.
Okay.
Well, he got them apparently to go in front of a live cam.
Yeah.
It was like the original OnlyFans type of thing. I don't know. I've never done OnlyFans. I've never been on there whatsoever, so I really don't know much about it. But apparently that he got these girls from the kickboxing days, these ring girls, to strip off in front of the camera, and he would charge people per the minute to look at them.
Did the women know?
Yeah, the women know. They were in the deal.
Oh, okay.
But what he did was him and his brother apparently were answering all, pretending they were the women. Because he said that they knew what men wanted. So they pretended that they were actually the women that were on the screen. The women said the women were just pretending to type.
Yeah.
It was actually Andrew Tate and his brother who was doing it, and they made a fortune.
Okay, that was before OnlyFans days, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I think that smacks more of like those, what is it, sex phone lines that people bring up. And apparently, like, there was a man that was doing very well, was a man, actual man, because he knew what men liked. So they had this illusion, but on the other end of the telephone line was this scrawny man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
Managed to build
And
up.
they do it a lot. Like they get a lot of things. They send you messages, oh, hi,
Yeah.
is this such and such or whatever. And
I think that's something
then
like
they
also like sugardaddy.com or something like that. And
they get pictures of good-looking girls, and then people think that it's actually
that's
them.
who they're talking to.
It's some bloke.
Scam.
It's some bloke sitting in his underpants in a basement somewhere. You know?
So look, I wonder if there's, look, ethically that's not right, but then you're thinking, look, it's just basically a fantasy that they're selling.
Yeah, I don't know
like
whether it's the
legality
to me it's just
of that.
not for me.
I know, but I'm just thinking about moral and legalities of that line.
Well, I think it's legal, but is it ethical or is it moral?
Yeah,
That's the question.
It's just a lie, really. But then
Yeah.
again, it's a fantasy. They're being conjured up, and formed in their mind.
Yeah.
So, all right. And look, and had some public drama about him quite recently, in controversy, because this year, like, UK prosecutors authorised multiple serious charges against him and his brother, including rape and human trafficking, before extradition and court process. So I think it was Romania. Was he arrested in Romania?
Romania, he got arrested.
For what? Was it rape or child?
Yeah, I think a lot
Human
of
trafficking.
things. Yeah, human trafficking. There is a video with him being really violent with a woman, and it was so horrible to see. He was really violent with her.
Well, he was beating her up.
Yeah, and she was screaming, and that was horrible to see. No,
It was like
I don't know.
a hotel video or something. So what was it? Yeah, she robbed him or what?
No, they were in a bedroom somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And he was just punching her, and it was like so degrading.
So why didn't he get arrested for that, though?
I don't know. I don't know if there was any charges laid or whatever, but if that was true of him, that was a glimpse into a dark viewing of his soul,
And that's very worrying and concerning, because he's the one that's giving this advice to young men.
Yeah. We don't know if he's like that all the time. That might have just been a one-off event. And who knows if these videos that we see these days are really true. But this was a while ago, it
should be real then.
It looked really real. And the woman was genuinely really fearful. She was screaming. You can tell when people make a scream, whether it's put on or not. If it's real, it chills you to the bone. Like P. Diddy bashing that woman and dragging her down the hotel lobby.
And I'm surprised they didn't even charge him with that.
Well, again, I think you've got to have charges. You've got to have charges laid upon you.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm surprised that he hasn't been charged. Like, it's video evidence. It's so clear-cut.
Well, maybe the recipient didn't put charges against him.
Refused to. Didn't press charges.
And scared to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's going to do in front of a camera. What's he going to do when there's no camera?
When there's no camera, if she lays a charge, it's sad but this is reality of it when there's a power imbalance.
Yeah.
Not every. In theory, we're all equal in the eyes of the law, but in practice, access to the law is an imbalance. It's not all equal. Access to the law is not all equal.
Well, I don't know about that. Access to the law.
I think you know what I mean.
Access means like to communicate to them. Access to them. I mean, you just pick up the phone. You've got access to them.
I think I think when this access means more than physical talking to them, it's basically having the ear. It's a matter of who's got more money and who's got more connections.
Well, in many instances, once the police have been contacted, they're usually there for the woman.
Yeah, no.
They're usually there for the woman's protection. For the most part. That's why I said usually.
But I'm saying usually, however, power and connections override it all.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can take the case of
Maybe.
the former Prince Andrew. If it was anyone else, he would have already been hauled in front, handcuffed, wouldn't he?
Well, not anybody else, because there's been many people.
Been many.
But the global elites.
You know what I mean. Yeah.
If it wasn't a global elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a matter of power and power imbalance. That's why I said access to the law is not equal in this. Yeah, this is what I mean. Not in terms of just being able to speak to the law, in terms of who, if the law would actually, or those enforcers would actually enforce. Because they're doing it more of lower hanging fruit, so to speak. Those are too high, too difficult.
Well,
No, you
apparently
just
some
cop
of
it.
these victims from Epstein or whatever, they said that they've been to the police multiple times and
No.
then
Well,
doesn't
they-
even register.
Register, so they didn't get access to the law. This is what I mean. So, and we don't really know what if it was a setup with Andrew Tate and his brother. To be fair,
Yeah, we
Whether-
don't know
we
if
don't
it was
know.
a setup. And it
Okay.
seemed like it was a setup.
yeah, it seems
seemed
like, but then again, yeah, we don't know. I mean, like, look, I don't think they're squeaky clean either.
Yeah, I think when you stick your head out after a certain while and you stick your head out a bit too far in this world,
Yeah.
you'll soon get somebody wanting to jump all over it.
So you know, these stories about them have kept him in the headline, and look, and it's also because of him that the manosphere influence is under scrutiny. You know, reporting has documented how this broader online subculture, because information that he spewed out has gained traction amongst young men, you know, offering explanations why figures like Andrew Tate tend to attract attention beyond just misogyny. He's mixing success in messaging with lifestyle advice. You know, he covers not only misogyny but also broader appeal and problems of these movements that he is one of the ones driving. And, you know, again, why we're talking about him? Because he remains a symbol of the modern dating battlefield, really. Whether one supports, condemns, or simply observes, you know, Tate's persona forces questions about gender roles, self-worth, standards, and what many perceive as truth versus harmful rhetoric. So we're here not really as to say he's right or wrong, but understanding what he's saying really today. And I'm going to comment on why, in the context of relationships, whether or not it's wrong or short-sighted, or to me, he's missing a lot of key elements to his message. But like I say, his advice, it's popcorn advice again, on the flip side. So I've kept talking about popcorn advice from relationship experts, but most of their popcorn advice is on left-leaning, like we can all get along, no matter how, you know, you can build a relationship with anyone provided you're willing to put the effort in. You've heard of that? Whereas his popcorn advice is easy listening to young men on the other side of it.
Well, he does push them into striving towards being better.
Look, he's keep you know, love him or loathe him, he keeps reshaping conversations about masculinity. He talks a lot about that and success, and also about how men and women relate.
A lot about world matters as well, like how the world's a bit nuts and persecution of certain people and all of that we can see. But in regards to his relationship aspects, I think he is a bit more focused towards young men.
Yeah.
He's got this young men academy, I believe, that you pay a certain amount to, and
really?
you get lessons in the mail or something. He's got a Andrew Tate University for making money entrepreneurship.
Okay, that's one element. That's fine.
I have seen a few things about him, and because I'm an entrepreneur myself and is into business models, I would suggest that I think he does have a lot of good points in relation to advice for young men.
To a young man
First and foremost, a young man. what you should be doing is get a business. Start focusing on business. Forget working for other people.
Or a career.
And
Look,
careers, like you can go and do
a trade
like
even.
a
trade.
tertiary education is great. The people you meet, all that. Getting tertiary educated is a great thing, I reckon. Master's degree, PhD and all that. If you can cop that, it's a good thing to do. But for the most part, where do we get entrepreneurial advice from?
We don't.
We don't.
We don't get it from our parents. We don't get it from our teachers.
You know where you've got to get it from? You've got to go up to the top. This is the old joke in the US. I remember saying, oh, you go up to the top of the building and you jump off and then you figure it all out by the time you land to the bottom. If you figure out like I jump off and then you figure out, oh, how do I land and how am I going to save myself while you're falling? You figure it out then. And it was a metaphor. So it was like jump in, get into a business and don't stop. Get into a business. And he pushes that for young men. And I have to say, I couldn't agree more. For any young man, if you're a young man here right now, I'd be saying the same thing. Get your sleeves rolled up. Yeah. Get your sleeves rolled up and start figuring out how to make yourself a business. Because forget about a job. You know what job means? How do you spell the word job? J-O-B. You know what it means? Just over broke.
But you know...
Just over broke. And so what's destroying marriages? What's destroying relationships? Being broke.
Finance,
and so if a young fella's got a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 million, 12 million behind him, he's starting to probably look at having babies. He can afford it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to have some capital to start business with. And for that, yes, you need a job in the beginning.
Well, you don't need to have capital.
Well, okay. What, you borrow money?
Well, you don't need to. There are ways you can do it without that. You can do it with sales. You can do it with other things.
Selling what? You
can
need capital.
You can start things slowly and build up to it. There are ways around it, but it is difficult.
It is difficult.
Without
and so
capital.
I wouldn't...
So Andrew Tate, what he does was for a small nominal fee, I'm not quite sure how much it is. I certainly wouldn't be joining up for his program. I wouldn't be lining up for it. But it is a good thing because what men need, what young men, is they need mentorship.
Yes,
we don't get
mentorship.
it. And the only thing we get it from is our fathers, and a father and son relationship is different. It's not mentorship, son.
And I'll tell you,
it's not mentorshipping with the father.
It depends.
It's not.
It depends as well. Even if the father is ready and willing to mentor, there is only they're limited as well by their ability, their life experience, and what they know.
And the child always thinks, oh, they're so much smarter than their parents.
Yeah.
Well, my parents are so backwards or whatever, so they never really want to learn from them.
Yeah.
A young man needs a mentor somewhere else.
Not only young men.
Somebody he can look up to or whatever.
You know, and that's what I think, like on the other side, was what Charlie Kirk was trying to do, you know. And look, it's very interesting.
Well, I know which one had the more morals between the two.
Of course. But they're both, look at it, they're both aiming at young men, targeting young men. But both or telling young men to be a man, to step up. But their approaches are so different. You see that?
Andrew Tate's coming from a power base. You got the money, you got the power. You got the money, you got the power. You see, that was like the old movie says. So, whereas, other people are more so like if you've got the knowledge, you got the wisdom, you got the power. You see, maybe there's the difference in the messaging. But Andrew Tate is more about you get the money, and then you got the power, and then you'll have all the girls you want dripping off your arm. It's only you don't have it at the moment because you're broke. So the moment that you've got a Ferrari outside the nightclub, and you've got the key ring and whatever.
But he says more than that. Very different from Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was educating his point, be responsible, marry right, and actually marry young and have children. Andrew Tate is on the different hand. Yeah, love him and leave him.
Yeah,
that's
well,
basically.
He's got a program, or his brother does,
of
how to get young virgins into bed.
Yeah.
And then once you do, how to dump them.
How to dump them. Yeah.
Yeah. So give them all the promises.
Yeah.
tell them they're all special, whatever they want to hear. And then once you've done that, once you've made them secondhand goods or whatever, then tell them it's nice knowing you, bye-bye.
Yeah, never marry them. That's the thing. So,
Yeah.
because I think his thing is they're weak enough to fall
Well,
for
a lot
you,
of them have
then
got
you
a
don't
point.
marry.
They do have a point in many ways. That it's like a lot of the times, don't marry these women. In many instances, I'll tell you what, that's good advice. Don't marry them, whatever you do, because it could be a life of misery. It could be, if you're going to marry one of them, you got to make sure that you're in for a harmonious lifestyle ahead.
But his thing is don't marry at all. That's the thing. They're all bad. Kind of. Basically, that's the messaging I've seen.
Oh no, I don't
various
know if
clips of him.
No, I don't believe that's the case. He's talking about if he's got a wife.
He's had more than 10 kids from multiple different women.
Yeah, but he's talking about if he has a wife, then how he must act with the wife. He's got to be a protector. You've got to be a provider. You've got to make them feel safe and all that. So he does have some good points. Of my wife, this is what she would be like.
She would be like, but
and then this is how I would have to. This is how I'd treat her or whatever.
Treat her, but he doesn't educate them on how to find or how to.
Well, that's
how to sort about for marriage. He's very anti. That.
Yeah. Well, his premise is you don't need to find them.
They'll come to you if you've got money.
You come to you. You just can't. You need a big stick to beat them all off with. It's like as soon as you got that thing called money, money, honey. Once you got that money, then there's got no money, got no car, got no woman, and there you are. Said the old song. What was it? That song? I can't forget now. But got no money, got no car, got no woman, and there you are. But if you've got the best car and you've got so much money that your pockets are bulging. And you've got all the fancy labels on or whatever it is, then they come looking for you. But I think the message of that is that when these kind of women come looking for you, they're not coming looking for you.
It's for deep pockets. It's for your deep pocket.
What you represent.
Yeah.
The level of freedom of what you represent.
Look,
first and foremost is what it means for most women is that if I'm with that guy means I don't need to work in a job.
Look, that's the same. I'm not saying just women.
Who wants to work in a job?
And you know what? It's not just women; it's men as well. Anyone, everyone.
Nobody wants to work in a job.
Have to work.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, they're saying if men encounter a woman that can provide, he doesn't want to work.
No, he doesn't.
Why would he be that dumb and work when you've got someone working for you?
Yeah.
Work and paying the bills.
Yeah.
Why extend yourself?
Well, you've got to consider that the other person, you can't freeload off someone.
Well, they do, and both of them.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Both sides.
I'm just saying it's not limited to women. Men, if they have the chance, they will as well.
It's not limited to any side.
Yeah, but it's only because
there's psychosis in both men and women.
Opportunity is more for the women to do it, more opportunity for women to do it than there is for men. True, because there are far more men capable of earning decent money than women. In terms of, and they don't get a stop in their working life.
I would say, what does a woman do? How does she make cash? Some form of job? Like what? How does she make money?
She cannot, because unlike a man where
you can see why this OnlyFans has taken off.
Yep.
They said that nearly every youth, apparently now they've got OnlyFans for 10-year-olds.
What?
Yeah, like they get them for the date that when they're 16 or I don't know what the legal date is, but you can pre-buy them, pre-book them. And when they're 16 years old or the date that they're legal, then you've got your big following there. And who's doing it? It's the parents. The parents do it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the parents do it. There's no dirty things on it, but what it's doing is you're allowed 2 provocative images
of the child.
You're allowed, and then you have to have 3 images of non-provocative. So you can't be all sexualized. It has to only be like half sexualized.
Legal, I don't know. If,
to me, that is disgusting beyond any level of comprehension. You're raping that child. You're raping them. You're stealing their innocence before it's their time.
And the parents are pimping them out.
The parents are pimping them out. What they need is a slap across the face.
why are the platforms legally even allowed to do it?
They shouldn't be allowed. Well,
they shouldn't be allowed.
Who owns them? That's the question. That's why they're allowed. But the thing is that it's morally corrupt.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's figuring things. But the thing about it is that most young women now in the US, they're saying from 16 to 25 or 30. Well, I can't remember the ages. But the amount of women who have got OnlyFans accounts is insane. It's insane how many. And it's like that's how they're making an income. So you see now that young women are going, I can make this much money. I can make 30 grand a month or 50 grand a month or whatever. There's no way I can make that working as a waitress for tips for in a coffee shop somewhere.
Yeah.
Or as a secretary.
That is true. But however, your choices are later on the line are going to come back to bite you. It's just like the women in the old days.
Everybody's doing it. Oh no, you're in the old ages.
Yeah, like Playboy magazine.
Playboy magazine. You're in the old ages.
Do it, but later on, they're going to be hard to find a partner. I mean,
but not if everybody's doing it like the adage. Everybody's doing it. It's normal now.
No, it's normal. Basically, doing porn.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's doing porn.
It's doing porn. I mean, like how many men want to marry a porn star? Yeah, dating and all that.
No man can. Apparently, no man can marry
can or want. What do you mean?
No man can successfully marry apparently a porn star or a strip dancer. Apparently, it's not possible.
You mean while they're still doing their job?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then you'd be sharing your wife with loads of other people. Well, there's been porn stars that marry porn stars, kind of thing, but because they're already in the industry. But other than that, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. But I'm saying even former ones. Now, how many men want to marry former prostitutes or porn stars? This is what I mean by later down the line. Yeah. When they're over it, they'll be too old for OnlyFans, they're saying.
Yeah.
They're not getting any money. Well, after a certain point, a woman wants to marry. And she wants to have a family. She wants to have kids.
Yeah.
Then it's already hard enough for regular women that don't have that background or that history to find a man to settle down with. Imagine how much more difficult it is for these women.
Yeah. If I was young again, what do you do, male or female? The first thing you do is number one is to start a business. You've got to get your own business going.
Learn a skill. I would say number one is learn a skill.
Learn a skill, but make sure that instead of finding don't find a job, find a customer.
No. I mean, get a skill, earn enough money first through that skill to enable you to start the business.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah.
If you start a business, it means that what do you have? Independence. Now you're not just somebody who works in a factory. Now you're a company CEO. Now you do your own accounts. Now you do this. Now you've got understanding of this and that. You become a different caliber. You start to figure out, and that's tremendously appealing to the other sex. If you're having trouble meeting people and you've got dating sites or whatever, if you've got your own business and that's becoming successful and it's going well and you've got, you're starting to grow, that is tremendously appealing to the other sex. Why? Because you've stepped out of the rat race, and so to me, men or women, don't go on OnlyFans. Don't do it. No, start a business and then allow that business to grow, put it into it like it's your baby, and then that is tremendously attractive to the other sex, even if it's a woman. Well, what do you do for a living, love, or whatever things? I run this company. I started it off myself. I saw an opportunity in the marketplace. I saw this product. I put it out in the market, and I started doing this. Now I'm distributing to here. And you go, wow, this person's got their head screwed on. Wow, how smart they are. You see?
Okay. I agree with the business, but I put a couple of caveats on it. One, you should actually get a job in the beginning because it serves two purposes. One, you learn the skill of that job.
Yep.
So you're skilling yourself up.
Two, you need capital.
Two, you need capital.
Yep.
And three, it's best you start young because if you mess up and your business fails, you've still got
You got
time to
time.
start again.
You can brush yourself
Yes,
off, pick yourself
pick
up,
it up.
and
You've got
because
time.
guess what? That's almost guaranteed what's going to happen.
Yeah, the first
you're
few
going to lose
times
it all.
you're going to
You're
lose.
going to lose it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're going to lose it all.
so which I tried
Not
to
you're
think.
going to lose it all. It's not set in
Look,
stone. It can
80%
things-
of businesses
a lot of-
fail within 2 years. Yes,
yeah, well,
that's
naturally,
a
so way
success.
more than that.
Way more than that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to be prepared for that. So it's almost a certainty that you're going to trip before you're successful. I mean, I haven't heard of anyone be successful on the first business that they've done. So
Well, no, there's plenty. There's plenty of people.
Unless,
There's
look,
plenty
I'll
of
tell you,
people.
unless they've got the support behind them, meaning they're already in the industry with their family, and that's different. I'm just talking about cold start.
Yeah.
No connections.
Yeah.
No family, bootlegging, everything.
Like bootstrapping.
Yeah, with
Not
no connection.
bootlegging, sorry, bootstrapping.
If you got connections, then it's almost it's easy. If you got connections,
Yeah.
but if you don't, like the majority of people don't,
Yeah.
then it is very difficult. Then it's almost certain that you will fail in the first attempt.
Maybe.
So, it's always like I say, 80% more than 80% of businesses fail in the first 2 years. What do you mean, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that's clear?
But
Evidence.
if a key to a successful relationship is one, having no poverty, being above that level, and then the other one is that being respected at a level where the wife has to love you, has to respect you, otherwise.
It's got to have support. You've got
And
to
she's
have the
not going
support.
to respect someone that's working in the factory, is just doing a factory job, like for the most part, that doesn't have any other opportunities in life. You've got to start to look at.
That's new. Look, if you're already married and so forth, and then circumstances change, like the business goes belly up, the man that can then go to the factory to earn money to keep them going, that man gets enormous respect. He should be respected.
Yeah, 100%.
So in the factory, so I'm not saying categorically someone working in the factory won't be able to do that.
No, of
So
course.
if someone fell from an ivory tower down, pick himself up and willing to go and clean toilets,
who cares?
that's immense respect
Yeah,
for a
abs-
man or not just a man, anyone's able to do that.
Won't take defeat.
Won't take defeat, and it does, we do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes. Yeah.
So the man then cleaning toilets, he deserves immense respect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. But for the most part, what you want to do is you need to have a freedom in this life. And especially if you're looking at relationships, like we're on the topic of Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And why is he risen to such enormous heights in things?
He's touched
One
the
is
chord.
algorithm.
He's touched the chord as well.
Algorithms. Two, he's a good communicator.
Yes, he is.
He's a very good communicator. And two, he brings a level of intelligence because when they give him a level of antagonism against him, he's able to hold it and rebut it and comes back with an argument that is like giving them a slap across the face without actually touching them.
Yeah.
So he does have so many things there, but for the most part, I can see a lot of his messaging to young men anyhow, towards young men, is, listen, don't get caught up running after women. You see, don't get caught up with that. Run after business. Get yourself a business. Get yourself funds. Get yourself financially supported and behind you, and then you can look a different time. So, and how to do that? You've got to start your own business. It's not going to happen if you're going to sell your labor per hour.
But not everyone is capable.
Not everybody's capable.
No, actually, I have to say, majority of people are not capable.
Yes, they are. Everybody's capable. It's just that they've got the belief system that they think that they're not.
No. They really have to be very switched on. When you're in business, you have to think about. There's so many things to you that you have to take care of and think about, because when you first start, you're a one-man band, aren't you? There's a thing, and if people are naive, firstly, you cannot be naive in the ways of the world and also human nature.
Yeah.
Because you've got then to keep looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, but why I like Andrew Tate's message in this regards is because that a lot of the times the the difference between having what you just talked about a few moments ago, the difference between having the ability and just simply not having the ability is what? Sometimes it's a very fine line. And you know what the difference can be sometimes?
Yeah.
It's just some blokes just sitting there going, come on, you can do it. I did it. It's not that hard. You can't do it. It's because you haven't done it before and you're fearful. You just haven't seen it. You're fearful of it. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't need to be fearful. You can do it too. Do this, do that, do this, and do that. And you see, and if you can get that message through to a young person, he might just have the ability to say, hey, guess what? I think I can do it after all. I can do it. I can roll my sleeves up. And there's where his message is good. You see, he gives people that level of confidence that therefore that they didn't have previously, perhaps. Just give them that edge just to push them over the line that can say, oh, hang on, I'm free falling here, but you know what? I think it doesn't seem so bad on the way down.
But you know what? One thing that he has going for him is mixing success, wealth, and status and confidence. You know, having that image, and they're timeless attractors. I mean, Tate packages them in a bold, unapologetic way that many young men find exciting. Yeah, and they find it empowering as well.
But he also helps women. I did hear him. Was a woman came on once and she said, he says, I met this girl there last night. And he said, and she was talking away, I've got these dreams, I want to do this and don't want to do that. She says, I was talking to her and I thought she likes a nice person, whatever. And then she started telling me all her dreams. I want to have my own label, I want to have my own cosmetic label, my own skincare, whatever. And he said, well, why don't you just go and get some good skincare from Alibaba?
Okay, repackage it, make yourself a website, put a brand on it, put a label on it, got the website there, put a little bit of ads out, make some video YouTube shorts, and then put it on the market and start making some sales. And he made it, and he lined it out step by step for this woman. Yeah. He says, and then I met her again after a few weeks. Oh, how did you go? I gave her all the blueprint. Didn't do anything. Yeah. Hadn't contacted Alibaba. Hadn't got any sample products. Well, so really, her desiring for that wasn't real. Was just will-o'-the-wisp. Yeah. It was a mental sort of miasma. It was just like, I've got a plan here and I'm going to schedule it. This day, Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, I'm going to do that. Next week, I'm going to do this. Then if you schedule something, then you've got a chance of bringing it about. But he laid it out for this girl. This is how you have your own label. This is how you started off. It was website here, get the samples over, put your own brand label on it, give it out to a few people for samples, blah, 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 get some reviews. And it was quite simple. How you lay it out. There's the simple basics. It's quite easy. And so if that girl had done that and she was making, say, 10 grand every month when she started off after 3 months, and then it went up to 15 and 20,000 a month and 30 grand a month, she would be like a whole different person. But she didn't. And then when she was looking for dating someone, when maybe 6 months previously, she was happy to take an Uber driver, trying to pay off his car, and then now she's making 30, 40, 50 grand a month. Well, guess what? Her standards are different. She walks now different. She wears different clothes. She stands up different. She's got her vertebrae in her spine now is growing because she's standing up straight, It's a whole different thing that once you've got that, that's why I urge every young person, everyone, is I wouldn't focus so much on a job. No, a job is a means to an end.
Yeah, one thing having a skill set, get a skill, so you've got something behind you, but get a business, get an income, get a business going, and then you see, it's like people spend years getting master's degrees and PhDs. Now that's a great endeavor. Tertiary education's a great thing, especially for a young person. Amazing, great thing to do, but does it guarantee you any career success? No, it does not.
No, it does not. There's plenty of out-of-work lawyers.
And there's a lot of people who employ the master's degree who couldn't even pass join the dots, couldn't even get an HSC and paint by numbers. Yeah. Couldn't do that, and yet they can employ the people who are the greatest of all minds. And in fact, apparently Henry Ford was proven in a court of law that he was stupid.
Oh?
Yeah, Henry Ford, they tried to, there was a defamation case, and this company had to try and prove he was stupid.
And what happened?
And so they wouldn't have to pay the defamation. So he says, I'll show you how stupid I am. And he's lying down on a couch inside the things. He says, one, I never stand up if I can sit down, and I never sit down if I can lie down.
Yeah.
So that shows you a level of intelligence. But he presses the button, and out comes a PhD around the corner. And he asks the PhD a question. He says, I just employed the best minds in the country. And I can answer any question you want. So that's how stupid I am. I've got access to the greatest minds in the country.
Yeah.
Why? Because I pay them.
Yeah.
You see?
So I wasn't smart enough to make the money to pay them.
Hello? So that's the thing. So, yeah, get a business. That way you'll be appealing to the opposite sex.
Okay.
That way you can get the best relationships. That's why you can up your ante a bit, and we can get a better caliber of person.
But was Andrew Tate actually pushing that? Doing business?
Well, he's
really?
pushing for business. He's
But
not
not
pushing
specifically.
not for relationships.
Yeah, not for
He's
relationships.
for self-empowerment.
Empowerment, yeah.
Yeah. Because, if you're broke, if you've got a few $100 in your bank or whatever, and you're going out on a date,
Yeah.
it's not the different.
Yeah.
You change and put like 3 more zeros at the end of that bank account, and you've got $3 million in your account. You got $3 million sitting in your account, and your things, and then so you go to a date, and you got $30 in your pocket, or 300, or you got 3 million. The same person can be completely different personality, wouldn't he? Or wouldn't that person be different? Usually when you've got that kind of funds behind you. So there's a lot of things. So I've never met this person, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And I can't really judge too much about it. But on the positive aspects, he does inspire people and lift them up to start their own businesses.
Okay.
Which is very, very, very
thing.
important for young people.
Look, I
And
don't...
you know what else?
Yeah.
The world needs entrepreneurs. You know why? Because without entrepreneurs, we don't get nothing done, really. You can see all these great inventions and great things. Electric cars. You know when electric cars first came out?
When?
120 years ago.
Oh,
Electric
really?
cars. And you know what? They still run the same batteries today. The first cars were electric cars. But yet, it took an entrepreneur
to do it.
to make it. And otherwise,
yeah.
and I mean, apparently General Motors Holden had a whole fields full of electric cars ready to go, already produced, already off the line.
When?
This was 3, 4, 5 years before Tesla came out.
Okay, but why didn't they?
They scrapped them all. A new CEO came in and said this will never work, and scrapped them all as scrap metal. Scrap metal. All these electric cars all ready to go off the line. And he scrapped them all.
So what? I hope they.
And then, so from one instance, one entrepreneur said, "These will never work. Let's scrap them all and get our money back on scrap metal." And another bloke come along, Elon Musk or whatever, said, "No, electric cars is the future. I'll bet that nobody who buys an electric car, you get them to put their hand up and say, would I go back to petrol? And I'll guarantee almost nobody does." You see? And so that took an entrepreneur to do that, didn't it? That took an entrepreneur. And so an entrepreneur can change the world. If he gets hold of a product and brings it through the line and everybody benefits from that product, well, that's a great thing, you see.
Okay. Now I think on that, this is a big topic, Andrew Tate, but we'll need to go to some music, have a little break, and we'll be right back.
Don't be late. We're talking about Andrew Tate.
Yeah. The Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. Now, Andrew Tate. He's had quite an impact on men's self-image, confidence, and approach to dating. Now, there's positives and negatives. I wouldn't say, look, I personally am not that fond of Andrew Tate, but I will have to say that he has given out some positive messages to young men and has had some positive influence in some areas. Look, the positive side, like some men say they feel motivated to improve health, financial status, or purpose. And I guess that's what Andrew Tate has really been pushing for, yeah?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But on the flip side, that's not all that he does. So the negative side is that, well, the young men that listen to him will likely end up also adopting a hostility, entitlement, or disrespect towards women.
You too can be like me if you're not careful.
That's why,
That's the old joke.
And so now, how do we separate the healthy drive for self-improvement for harmful attitudes? I mean, yeah, okay, look, the thing is, what did he say about women? Advocating. He's part of like that MGTOW movement, almost like a quasi MGTOW. Wouldn't you say? Yeah. When he says like, yeah, it's all right, but don't take them seriously, sort of thing. I don't know. Have you ever heard him advocating for marriage at all, advising young men to get married at all?
I think he mentions about he's like wife of your children and stuff like that you've got to, No.
The mother of your children. The mother of your children, you have to choose, but not necessarily marry. That's the thing that he's on.
Well,
and then
again, I don't listen to him too much.
Yeah, but I guess he kind of like say, if you must marry, then this is the type of woman or traits you have to look for.
Yeah.
But he's like, to me, where he comes from, and I think is also the same space that the MGTOW men have come from as well. Kind of like being hurt, and because why? Because being exposed and looking at all the wrong types of women. Remember the old adage about when they keep saying there are women that you date and women that you marry. They're different. And to me, it's men as well. The men you just date and men that you actually marry.
Yeah.
That's for people generally, full stop.
Yeah.
Though unfortunately, the type of women that most men get attracted to is the type of women that you date only. It's date only type.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they build up and say, oh, they're bad, or that when they end up marrying them and saying, oh, it was disaster. Then the next woman then that they're with, the same date only women, oh, they're bad as well. So they can form this thing in their mind that all women are bad, kind of thing. They're all terrible.
You're just looking in the wrong places.
You're looking at the wrong types as well. Simply because why? Because that's flashy. It's just like, I tell women is equivalent of being attracted to 6-inch stilettos in the shoe shop. Yeah, I actually did a video on that. So I might repost it. So the difference between that, when you go to a shoe shop, the women normally are that's sparkling with all these diamantes and 6-inch heels, think how glamorous I'll look in that. And right next to it, but they overlook the boring pair of brown slippers, which is actually good for you, good for your feet and all that, and because it's good for you, you keep wearing it, don't you? Until basically drop. Anyone ever had a pair like that? Yeah. And then think about it. It's not a pair that you're out to impress. But what would the women do? They'll pick the 6-inch heels. It looks flashy. It kills their feet, and then they complain.
It looks like they're slowly becoming crippled.
Yeah, and then complain about that shoes kill your feet. Terrible shoes. Well, no, shoes don't kill your feet. You just chose that pair that kills your feet. And I said the equivalent, like I say, the equivalent of men is that they keep wanting the flashy looking sports car when they need it to
build a business,
or carry
make an
pipes,
investment or
carry
something.
pipes or things like that, or they need to go up in the mountainous areas, and then those cars can't do it. Okay, and then they go, and then the wrong car, and go back there. Okay, go back to the the car yard. Oh yeah, I like that look of that car, another sports car. And then at the end of it, complain those cars are terrible. They can't do the job not when you want them to. You get the analogy, guys? Yeah, you get the message coming through.
So the key is to have a car for every occasion.
You say?
To have one for every occasion.
You think about what you need. And then you say, take responsibility. Okay, it's not
You've
marriage.
only got yourself to blame.
It's not marriage at all. That's the problem. It's not women even. That's the problem. It's just you're choosing the wrong types for what you want. If you just want to have fun and you date for fun, then you go for them. Like I say, if that's all you want, you only want someone good looking and fun. That's it. Don't you don't have to think too deeply about it. But it's just that when you want something to last, then that's different. Same sort of thing.
Well, that's the position of most men. They don't think too deeply about it.
Getting things for the purpose.
They're only thinking about the immediate.
I mean, like you know someone, you have a friend that's like that, or been divorced and swore off women. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should ask him, before you married her, did you really consider what she'll be like after you married, living with her? This is the thing, you really have to think about what it'd be like to live with that person.
Yeah, because you really don't know the person until you actually live with them.
No, it's not even that. It doesn't click. If someone's out, party girl all the time and that, what it would be like to live with her. It means she's never going to be home. And how can you accept that? You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even for women like artistic men, okay, men that are great musicians, pianists, or great portrait painters, and all that. People gravitate, or piano players. People gravitate to people with talents. But singers or whatever. But guess what? When you marry them, either they're never home, they're on tour all the time. They're not going to go pick up the kids or take the garbage out Well, you expect a man to do that? But hang on. You got together with him because he could play the piano well, not because whether or not he can change the tire or willing to pick up the kids or change a nappy or take the garbage out, didn't you? Then don't complain. You see what I mean? It's not so much you don't know the person, but it's like, well, it's pretty obvious. What do you think he'll be doing when you live with him? He's going to stop playing the piano? Stop practicing at home?
Huh.
Yeah, he's likely he spent only half a day on the piano if you're lucky.
And you're going to hear the same song over and over again.
Because he's got to get it right.
Oh, no,
sure?
Not again.
So this is the sort of thing, that's what I mean, but people don't think about what it would be like to live with that person. So this is where I think that he's laxed. These areas that Andrew Tate has laxed, whether or not they call it inadvertently or deliberately. You know, they've done that with because if I put that caveat on and say, oh yeah, though marriage with the right person is great, then that distracts from his message of that masculine empowerment message. So really, for our listeners, I want to ask, really, do men feel pressure to look or behave a certain way because of icons like Tate? And really, how do you, this is something for us to consider, is how do you distinguish healthy masculinity from toxic traits that hurt relationships? Because a lot of the things he advocates, if you're in a relationship, is actually toxic. It is quite toxic.
Such as?
Don't pull. One thing he can say is don't put up with her BS. Okay, but what is BS then? Telling you to go get a job when all you want to do is lounge around and play video games because you feel like it. There's issue about responsibility. And when you're in a relationship, yes, you have to think of the other person, not just me. Okay, that's what a relationship, a partnership is. And remember, it's a partnership. That's what people, not even the leftist relationship experts are not doing. He's not doing. Okay, I guess the only person that was doing it was Charlie Kirk. Okay, he was out of responsibility and that as well to both young men, and teaching and advocating to young men, young men, but very different in their approach. And
I wonder who would win the debate.
Yeah, and they're both supposed to.
I know who would probably win the fight, but who would win the debate?
It'd be very interesting. And it's very unfortunate that dear Charlie is no longer with us. But I would have loved to have seen a debate between Charlie Kirk and Andrew Tate. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It would be very interesting. I think that would just blow up YouTube or whatever, the platform or they're streaming it on.
Don't say it too loud. They might actually try to do it.
Blow up
Reenact
YouTube.
it or something.
Mate, that's what I said. Charlie Kirk is gone. I mean, it's not the same if you've got
no,
AI.
I'm only joking.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. Probably he's in a better place now.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. And now, look, what does he mean for women's dating expectations and standards, Because when men become more aggressive and assertive or status-driven, how do women respond?
Imagine if somebody brings Andrew Tate home to meet the parents.
The parents would probably there's two reactions they can do. They can do, one, do like this, or second, he's rich. Saying, yeah. But look, like, does a figure like Tate push some women to raise their standards, though? Be financial standard, physical standard, or lifestyle, or will it push women off to retreating from dating altogether, and then saying, "Oh, they're toxic now."
Well, I think he helps a lot of people by inspiring people to be better, like get your own brand, get your own product.
Yeah.
And then you come from a position of power, and I don't think that's restricted just to the masculine form.
No, it isn't. But the prominent issue with him in the dating sphere, when he's giving out his own advice and branding in relationship,
yeah.
dating sphere.
Yeah.
Because look, and really ultra confident, controversial male figures. How does that affect women's,
it can be abrasive.
Trust and safety, willingness to commit? Would women facing male figures like that, would they be scared of them? Physically scared of them for their
women
safety?
always want a confident man, and
willing as a protector. But
overconfident, you're becoming egotistical, aren't you?
And you know what? And then there's a danger there.
Or unjust confidence, like misguided confidence.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a danger to the woman there when he becomes that egotistical to her, because that's a lower hanging fruit. It's an easier target, than to the world.
A lot of the times that the motivation for success is based upon, in the psychological aspect of it anyhow, is control over others. Control over, not control for, not power for, power over.
And this is
that's what we've got to be careful of.
And this is the thing. This is then kind of like touches the thing about just domestic violence, men that commit domestic violence. You notice the ones that end up being revealed as abusing, physically harming their wives. They're upstanding members of society, totally sweet to everyone else, and people become shocked when that's revealed. Really? He was so nice. I didn't think he'll hurt a fly. And you know why they do that? I know exactly why. Because in some men, that's why they call those men wimps, because they've got that physical. They're too afraid to put that out in society, be aggressive in society.
So they take it home
take it home because that's an easier target. To try to build up some sort of masculine, and power because over on someone that cannot. You've got power. Look, the thing is,
that's a psychosis.
That's a psychosis, and this is where it's a line that's very thin line that he's treading here. This is the danger. I mean, look, an example, saying, "There's no way I can go up against a 6 foot man." Okay. So to feel better, I go and beat up on a 6-year-old. I can beat up a 6-year-old. But does that mean, I'm now powerful? I feel powerful? Has that proven anything?
No.
Because I've taken it out on someone that cannot defend themselves against me.
Well, the victim becomes the victimizer.
Yeah.
They said
But-
that the pommies were only good for gardening and they were that passive. And yet Royal Britannia went out to rule the waves.
So
You know, and so
Up
the
on
Romans
the ones
invaded England
yeah.
and controlled them, said they were only good for gardening because they were that passive. And then
No.
within a few generations, they're out ruling the world as well.
Well, it depends.
The victim becomes the victimizer until you become conscious.
So this is one thing, part of what he's advocating, and his advice I find is very dangerous in that way. Building up men in terms of, he might try to encourage men to be more masculine and to step up.
Or you're
But-
just encouraging more little egos to
Little
run around.
egos, but
that
is it
think
real
that
confidence
that
or not?
That think that they're world leaders when they're actually just pimply phased little nerds.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they've got onto some form of maybe a crypto or something, made
Yeah.
a lot of money. And all of a sudden now that they're,
And they think they're so smart and so great because
Yeah.
they were lucky in a bet.
yeah. And
Come
that's what you've got to be careful of, that you don't give people false egos,
False
misappropriated
ego or false-
confidence.
False confidence.
Misappropriated confidence, misappropriated courage. You know,
Yeah.
so courage misappropriated is just foolish.
Yeah.
You know, so
And,
yeah,
and this is the thing, like, it can affect women. Like, will they adjust their expectations because they see men influenced by voices like Tate, though? Are they then, are they going to adjust themselves? Just their behaviour or their expectations?
well, when usually we're talking usually here, largely we're talking about young men, young women, and for the most part, they would, you know, when they're trying to do more to become more of appealing to the opposite sex,
Yeah.
become more attractive, well, they're looking to get things like longer nails, shorter skirts, higher heels on the shoes,
But you,
more curls on the hair or
but
something.
then you do, by doing
But-
that, you
but they're all
attract
wrong things,
Wrong thing.
yeah.
You attract the wrong set of men.
Yeah.
So you will attract attention.
Yeah, definitely.
But the wrong
You'll
sort.
get the looks. Yeah, you'll get the men who are looking for adventuring in Wonderland or whatever. And so men are adventurers in this playground of life, and they're looking around, and women are the playthings. You see, so the more that the woman dresses up to be that role as a plaything, then that's how she'll be, you know, taken, I suppose. But
But will it make, but the fear of being judged and by those type of voices or attacked, will that make some women, hesitant to be openly feminine then, ambitious or supportive? It might be turn them off. That I was going to be this good, but if the men are going to be like that,
you
then-
don't see many voices for young women
Yeah.
out there saying that the key to it is to be wholesome and happy.
Yeah.
It's not trying to get fake boobs, more silicone in your lips, bigger high cheekbones and all that. No, it's allowing your femininity to glow,
to glow. Yeah, that is
Like-
a positive. I'll tell
like
you.
a nurturing feminine.
Yeah, and this is what I've been trying to do with
That brings forth creativity. Women bring forth creativity. If you look at when women are involved with something, then they're stylish to things. Gardens look better. Clothing looks better. This looks better.
You know what? You can probably do a show on that later on. I mean, that's what I am trying to advocate for women, but I haven't dedicated a whole show to it, which I should.
Yeah.
But
There's no rule book for women.
There's no rule book for women. There's no one guiding it. And I think women, though, on the flip side, are hesitating to follow that because out of fear of being
Well, that's what it's all about.
being attacked by the feminists,
Fear.
Because women, like I say, they need acceptance. They're group thinking. Okay, what would all my girlfriends think then?
Yeah.
But they've been worried about being labelled you're going to become a doormat and that sort of thing. Being
You
weak.
see all these young
being
women
weak.
going to these beauticians or plastic surgeons saying, "Oh, I need this work done."
Yeah.
Because they're feeling a level of insecurity.
Insecurity.
Where's the people that's standing up saying the real beauty is what you have in your heart, and you allow that to shine through your being, and that brings forth your radiance. You don't need to paint your face on with a brush.
Though on the flip side, you have to understand women, because men don't notice that. You see, how do you get attracted? Men's attention then don't even know that that's good. A lot of men, they like a lot of people, like everyone, attracted to the bling. What's shiny, what's there with the big boobs or the long legs. And so she's hot. And then so they look around, all the hot women are the ones getting attention. And they get no one, even though they might be the best partner. Like I say, the marriage material woman keeps getting overlooked.
Yeah, but where's the true beauty here? It's like, so the women, even though she might exteriorly, on the external, she might look really quite appealing as an attractive person, but inside she could be really ugly.
And that is where men don't know until they spend some time or marry them, find out that inside is terrible. And so, and then label women as terrible. I had a terrible experience getting married. But they're not taking responsibility. You chose that sort of thing. You were not looking for the inside. The next relationship, attracted again to the bling again. Those type of women end up being bad again. You see a pattern. All women are bad then. But not taking responsibility for their choices and keep, passing over the marriage material women, because don't have the bling. They don't have the big boobies. They're boring. They don't have the big boobies.
Yeah, the boring women.
Or their nails done properly.
Yep.
So then you can't complain.
You only get yourself to blame.
You only got yourself to blame. Take responsibility. So, you can only complain if you really thought about it through. What you need, she happens to fit the bill beforehand, and she demonstrates it, and demonstrates it. And after you marry, and then it still doesn't work out, then you can complain. Other than that, don't. You can't. If you don't have a leg to stand on, you'll complain.
You can't even listen to Andrew Tate.
You can't listen to Tate. All right. Now, polarizing figures. Old school values versus new school reality. Really, what Andrew Tate represents. Tate often speaks about traditional roles. He does.
Okay.
Yeah. Masculine strength and self-reliance.
Okay.
And it's part of the old ideals. Yeah. Men being out there, being masculine, being self-reliant and all that. That was the traditional. But, however, on the flip side, that's the traditional part of what he says. But on the other side, he taps into the new dynamics of online fame, influencer culture, rapid wealth display, and harsh critiques of modern norms. So, contrasting with traditional marriage values, respect, loyalty, and long-term commitment. So with instant gratification culture that Tate often promotes. He doesn't really promote the long-term, does he?
Not that I've heard.
No, it's the instant gratification, because that's what appeals. That's what young men like listening to. I think a few young men that like him too.
Well, that's why rap music or whatever, it sells songs. It's about that, isn't it? It's about changing women over with it, like you're changing underpants.
I'm not a rap music fan,
well,
so I don't.
Nor am I. But you can see like a lot of that young culture sort of music. It's based around that, isn't it? Yeah,
it's I don't listen to the music.
Bitches or hoes or whatever. I think it made one of them mentions.
So, So does that blend kind of like, well, you think it'll hurt or genuine marriage-minded individuals, or help?
Well,
the both of them hurts. Yeah, I think it'll hurt as well. The traditional values. His messaging it distorts them really. I wouldn't say he's advocating for traditional values though, would you?
Well, I don't know if there's many left anyways. You know, like, maybe...
Traditional male values.
Maybe he's thinking that...
He's not saying about, one, it being masculine and self-reliance. That's one, entrepreneurship, that's one element. But doesn't advocate about responsibility, does he? I haven't heard him telling men to take responsibility, because that is, because that's is an element of what he's promoting is very almost like a selfish, look to for the self, rather than responsibility. When it's responsibility, it's towards other people.
Yeah. A lot of the self-help things are all about me, yes, I can do it. I can. Oh, sorry, I can't. You know, and it's a lot of it's based upon that. Usually wears off by the time you get back to the car park, and it's all worn off, all the hype. But especially young men are really sort of into that. Like they're all trying to look for direction and purpose.
Yeah,
in
and
life.
I don't understand it, but he's not. I'd rather they be following Jordan Peterson than they're following Andrew Tate, to believe me, because actually Jordan Peterson is appealing to young men as well. You know, it's almost like a father figure.
Yeah.
Different. Look, Andrew Tate is more like an older brother.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
A few years older,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Whereas Jordan Peterson is more like a dad,
or an uncle,
or an uncle or something. The father that young men never had. You know, the father wasn't there, or did not spend the time to teach them, or actually did not know how to.
But more appealing would be Andrew Tate.
As a young man,
a young man.
Because, like I say, it's popcorn advice.
Well, and you're also a young person. You're looking for your mark in the world. What will I, what industry will I belong to? What will I do for the world?
So he's advocating
No, he's advocating for you to become stronger in your own being, such as, and the first thing you got to do with that is you got to have your own business.
Make your own money.
You got to make your own money.
Because look, few people get wealthy in a job.
And virtually nobody.
Nobody.
If you're selling an hour of your time as labor, for 1 hour, I want this much money for my.
Even the highest earning ones, like say doctors,
it's still broke.
It's still. It won't say broke, but
for
the amount
as far as it's the level of wealth, you're looking at Andrew Tate's level.
Yeah, it's broke.
Then a doctor is broke. A lawyer is broke.
And I guess in the corporate world.
And then they're broke too.
And if you're a partner, say with profit sharing, I think you make some decent money. But it's still the amount of hours you have to put in, and the education, and the politicking in the office to get to where you are.
Yep.
It's extremely. You might as well put that into your business.
Yep. Exactly right. So if I was young fella, young bloke, I'd be signing up for Andrew Tate probably. Yeah. Because I want that.
Instant at that stage in your life, you mean?
Where do I go from here? How do I rip in? How do I see things beyond fear? Yeah. How do I go beyond fear? And I think that's the big crippler of this life, is fear. If you look at society, most of it's based on fear. Every commercial we see, it's all based fear on you not having enough, missing out on this or whatever. Or if we're not in a relationship, we fear that we'll be alone. We fear that we'll be alienated. All these fears in our lives. And so he comes along and says, you don't need to buy into that. You can go beyond fear. Words to that effect. He has a level of confidence. So therefore, he has a level of positivity for young people in that regards. But you could be misguided. What you've got to be careful of when you receive information from an influencer, somebody that's highly influential, they could give you 95, 98% of truth. Yeah. And they could give you one bit of bad advice, and if the arrow is going towards the bullseye and flying at a fast velocity towards the bullseye, and it's going to hit the target, all you need to do is go and the arrow misses the bullseye with a slight puff of wind, you see. And that's what we've got to be careful of. It's like... we can look like we can receive a lot of great information from many people, many influencers, but they can give us a bit of crap.
Of course they
and
can.
that crap can really hurt us.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Andrew Tate or somebody like that level of influence, similar to that level, could come along and say, I wouldn't be, if I was a young man, I'd never get married, never do this, never do that, never do. Well, he's going to influence a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's the danger.
That's the danger. Yeah.
People like that without all the information, without them not, all they have to do is withhold a bit of information.
Yep.
That and
you might not even be lying, just withhold a little bit.
Withhold, and then the young men, they get misguided.
You get misguided.
And
then you can develop delusions.
The Relationship Whisperer Show with Miss Dragonfly, where we discuss all things relationships with the aim to make marriage great again. And today we've been talking about someone that's, I have to say, quite anti-marriage. But the dangerous thing is he's actually, crucial thing I should also say, is he's influencing a lot of young men. So, but really, what can followers and critics actually learn about building healthy relationships? His followers and critics. I mean, look, what core values do people really want? I mean, security, respect, purpose, or love? So, if that's the case, how do you create boundaries with any influencer, especially ones that drive such strong emotions? You know? Look, Andrew Tate, look, he is driving a lot of strong emotions and things like that. Look, it's affecting relationships. It's affecting dating market. Yes? You'd agree, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things. I guess it's changed, young men's attitudes when they're dating. And this is attitudes when they're dating, they used to be, treat nicely, you're on a date, be properly, and then afterwards you ring up and respectfully say, thank you for your time, that was a great date, and that sort of thing. But now he's actually come back, just go out there and show yourself, and then afterwards acting different, so she'll chase you. That sort of thing. So it's really changed the dating dynamics. What did you say? And then also with him encouraging men to take whatever they can from women, actually discouraging the marriage, it's greatly affected it. So, as they're saying, that's why, as I say, women don't like Andrew Tate. Generally don't like it. He's been labelled toxic masculinity. And in some respects, yes, look, I have been a very vocal critic of women that keep labelling masculinity as toxic, but I'll probably allow in this instance with Tate because his brand of masculinity is toxic. If you're going to label toxic masculinity, it should be in this instance, this type of instance.
He's a personification.
He's a personification, really. But, look, some things you can take from Andrew Tate, whether we take for influences from Tate or elsewhere, how to reinforce healthy behaviour, such as discipline, honesty, respect, generosity, and humility. From Andrew Tate, though, he's advocating really much about discipline. I'm not sure about honesty. I'm not sure about respect. I'm not sure about generosity. Maybe generosity, I think he does advocate in paying for the date, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But I don't think he's been against that. But in no way has he advocated for humility.
Ego is detectable.
Ego is detectable. So, with that type of strong voice out there, you've got, it needs to be balanced. Balance that stronger voice with something else that would make sense to young men, bring some balance to it. I mean, you can have communities, you can have churches doing it, like Charlie Kirk was really advocating, because he was a very devout Christian, advocating it from also a church and a religious point of view. I don't know what church he belonged to, but just to say from a Christian religious point of view. And, and families, this is where fathers really need to step in with their sons. I mean, Andrew Tate has only been able to get a foothold because there's more fatherless boys being brought up in single parent and mostly single mother families that were lacking that type of guidance and being shown how to be a man.
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So in that
we need to be
respect-
led into adulthood, into
Yeah.
manhood.
And this is what's lacking. So I guess Andrew Tate has found his niche. Well, would say a very a niche. I would say a
Well, all young men seem to want to be like him.
Yeah, all like it
You know,
because
I want to drive a Ferrari, a Lamborghini.
I want to
and
have lots of money. I want to have women clamoring all over me, kind of
different
thing.
sports car every day of the week.
Yeah, so he's giving out popcorn advice, and he's also like the flashy kind of thing, you know. That's what grabs people, men's attentions. And I also say Andrew Tate is also himself would be attracted to the flashy woman. He wouldn't be attracted
so
to.
if Andrew Tate was broke, if he was only worth, say, a couple of mil or whatever, virtually nobody would even listen to him.
Yeah,
Nobody would want to know.
he's not
it's
a
only
good
because he's
example.
worth several hundred million.
Yeah, he's saying, look at me like this. You can have this lifestyle too. You can be like me if you follow what I say.
Yeah,
You know.
and what I do.
And what I do, you know, and so it needs to provide balance. You know, in context that social media really can't, because social media is really popcorn. Unless you get people with voices of reason like Jordan Peterson. Okay, saying since he went viral on that video, like say he's now quite big on YouTube, a lot of young men, he's saying himself, has written to him and thanked him, saying because he's been like a father figure that they've never had, showing them how to be a man, how to take responsibility, have a purpose.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing. It's big thing is purpose.
Well, the great thing about internet now is it allows us, these people, to sort of enter into our lounge, into our rooms or whatever. Whereas before, how did we find people like that?
You couldn't unless they were on TV. And for that, they were very...
They were doing a tour or something. You could maybe go and buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket. And that was it.
Yeah, how did you find someone that could give you mentorship?
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah. And though, you know, a proper mentorship, it's because it's not flashy. I mean, it doesn't sell as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, look, the future. What do we do? Well, what happens when such voices grow stronger and stronger? You know, it goes, imagine a culture a few years from now if more young men happen to follow the similar rhetoric, or if society pushes back harder then. So dating, how are dating norms going to shift? I mean, with such voices growing stronger and stronger, well, it's going to get more polarizing, and people are then going to be more tribal in terms of retreating into more like-minded groups. You know, followers of Andrew Tate in this kind of sphere, or wannabes kind of thing, and then the women that they're happy to sell themselves for the moment, attracted to that wealth, but obviously then later on, as they age, they get over 30, they're going to be kicked out from there. They're not going to get attention to that group anymore. But then the other group of men, the responsible men, they're not going to want them either.
No, because they're second-hand.
Yeah, and then they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're not going to be in a good situation. So there is a danger.
Unless they've got their own business.
Unless they've got their own business, but few women do.
Yeah, few women do.
I mean, they do.
And that's the problem.
And that's the problem, because it is harder for women. Because think about this. Look, women to earn more and more, they're limited to more desk jobs, really. And being the professional men, because of their physicality, they can do trades and so forth. They still earn a lot of money.
Yeah, but they were talking about a business.
Yeah, even a business, tradesmen businesses. We've got lots of tradesmen under you. That's a business, very good, and a lot of people make a lot of money, but women cannot do it because they're not in that type of industry.
Sure.
So women have a smaller range to be able to choose from. So that's why a lot of them go into cosmetics, and because there's things that they know and they that they can do. So that's what I mean. And you notice even the trades, it's just the men's trades get paid a lot more than women's trades don't get paid very well. Hairdressing, beauticians, women's trades, kind of thing. So it's a lot harder for women, even in terms of industries. And then people not taking them seriously as well.
It's a lot harder for women.
Yeah. So
often
that's why.
consider, well, what does a young woman do?
What does a young woman do? And this is something that we'll have a show later on that, because it's tough enough that men are not given guidance. The old adage, well, is saying the popular consensus is now is that women are having more advantages, especially, well, at least in the Western world. More so than men. There are more women graduating. There are more women, it seems to be women get promoted much earlier than men, that sort of thing. They may not get as high a salary because they are not as good negotiators. But, they seem to be getting more ahead. The average woman doing much better than the average man in life. But however, you might say that. But on the flip side, women are failing in other areas of life, and so forth. And so the rhetoric for women is just career. So women are lacking guidance on how to be a woman.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, there's no rule book. If you notice, there's no instruction manual.
No guidance. I look like, you've got Andrew Tate, figures like that, jumping into trying to fill the void in that. But no one's thinking that there's a void for women. And there really is. I mean, I dare say it that even, not being able to cook is women declaring it like some badge of honour. Oh, I can't cook. So, and that's like a positive, a great thing. I don't lower myself to that. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Especially feminists advocate and then they get applauded. Is that really the right way to go?
Not really.
See? So, I mean, look, a shift, it seems like they're going to extremes. Idolization, but can the men then come back to balanced relationships? So you're going to one instance you're having extreme, and do you think those men can come back and have a balanced relationships? The men that his followers?
Anything's possible.
So look, the key message is influence does not die with the headline. I mean, it lives in how people feel, think, and act, often long and after a viral clip. People watch these clips and they get going, oh, okay, they get influenced really well, really easily. So I'm encouraging our listeners to look beyond fandom, idolization, and really seeking understanding, and then decides what supports healthy, marriage-minded living. And that really, well, I know he's advocating against marriage, but he's overlooking all the advantages of that. So it's more like copy me.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So I want you to, this week though, I want our listeners to pick on one relationship principle that you'll act on, either respect, discipline, generosity, or honesty, and apply it daily, regardless of anyone's rhetoric. Look, understanding why someone remains a cultural force doesn't mean you have to follow them. It means you're wise about the world you're choosing to live in and love in. So, really, tonight we've looked at more than a man. We looked at the mirror. Look, Andrew Tate is not powerful because he's perfect. He's powerful because he reflects something happening in our culture. There's confusion, there's fear, there's frustration, there's longing.
There's algorithms.
And but a big hunger from young men for direction. I think that's where he's tapped into.
Yeah.
But here's the truth. Your life, your dating choices, your marriage, your family, these should never be shaped by viral clips, outrage, or headlines, or even these icons. They should be shaped by your values, your integrity, your willingness to grow and love and lead in your own home. Look, some people will follow extreme voices, and some will reject them. But the wise ones, the ones who build marriages that last, are the people who do take the good and discard the harmful. Choose the path based on maturity instead of emotion, like Jordan Peterson or Charlie Kirk. So in wrapping up tonight's episode, I'm going to challenge you, our listeners out there.
A challenge.
To our listeners, don't react, reflect. Don't idolize. Understand.
Oh.
Don't follow the noise. Follow the truth. And so I'm Miss Dragonfly, and this has been the Relationship Whisperer. Let's make marriage great again by learning from the world around us and living by the wisdom within us. So thank
Hard
you.
truths for soft hearts.
So thank you very much for coming again. For those that want actual guidance on marriage, you can download your free copy of my book.
Free?
Your complete partner. How to choose a partner for love and marriage for a lifetime. So this is guidance for you.
And it's free?
And it's free. So
Goodness
just go to my
gracious.
website, makemarriagegreatagain.net.
MakeMarriageGreatAgain.net.
to get your free copy. And thank you so much for coming in today, especially on this topic with Andrew Tate, because this is very masculine topic.
I could hardly contain myself knowing I was going to get here an hour early.
Yeah,
Thinking
talking
that,
about Andrew Tate. ever been a fan of his?
No,
No?
not really.
Not really.
But anyhow, he's got some good attributes.
Because
So
I'm telling you,
that's
and
what
I can see why young men, he appeals to young men.
Yeah.
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 So I
Lamborghinis, Ferraris, hot
Yeah.
girls on their arm,
yeah.
Rolexes, and someone telling you, you can do it too.
You can do it too.
You too can be like me if you're not careful.
Okay. And don't forget to follow my Facebook page. I have two Facebook pages, Miss Dragonfly and Make Marriage Great Again. Please follow both if you can, because I do post different things on the Facebook pages. And let us know what you think by leaving your comments on there. And if there's a subject you'd like me to cover, then feel free to leave it there as well. And if I can cover it, then I certainly will.
Oh.
So thanks again, once again, Bluey. And thank you to our listeners. And don't forget to tune in same time next week.
What are we talking about next
And
week?
until then, actually, how about guides for young women?
Ooh. All right.
Okay.
The
Now
phones
that-
are almost going to start ringing now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's with going to be applaud, or anticipation, or already pre-prepared hate by feminists.
Ooh, can hardly wait.
Right, so until then, everyone, it's bye for now.
Bye.